So you'll have a workshop in creativity and finance. So
yeah, so
please,
I just take over.
yes.
Hi again. Listen, since time is shorter now, I will have to improvise. So you will have to improvise with me. Most important thing for you right now is this is going to be almost like a group session on your tables. So I'm going to be having groups of 6 people on a table. It's a good time for you to review everything you have inhaled the last 2 days, basically. So if you have no interest in talking to anyone, and no, I go back up if you like, but I'm going to be moving around on the chairs. So if you don't want to talk to any soul, then feel free to go for a coffee or whatever. But it's not going to be hard. It's just to digest what happened the last 1.5 days, okay? So that's to set up front. Good. Yes. You want me to go away? You want the clicker? Yes, I will take care of that. Don't worry. I'm now in a workshop modus. So listen, do me a favor, and if you want to stay, please get up. And so that chair, that group of organizers, stay out of us. But everyone else, go to some tables, sit with others, make sure that you are not more than 5 to maximum 6 people at the chair. Don't be with like 2 or 3 people. Stand up, find yourselves another place, and then I start immediately. Hey, I'm now workshopping with you. Why do you need this microphone? Because you need the sound for your recording? Okay. So introduce yourself to someone, say hi, nice to meet you. Who the hell are you? Be friendly, just get comfortable somewhere. This is just like 30, 40 minutes of a quick review for you guys to get. This is a very strong group. That's too strong. 1 or 2 of you go to some other groups and give them some fire. Like those ladies over there need someone, that would be good. Those 3 people down there could, if you're comfortable, stay. Otherwise, you know everyone here. You can go there with those 3 people, with a lady in red. Okay, that's actually a very comfortable grouping. That's good. Listen, I'm going to be fast forwarding in many things right now. Bam, bam. It's not working, my gun. What I want to do with you is I'm fast forwarding something you usually would do in your companies in, say, 1 to 3 days. I'm going to be mocking it for you in 30 minutes. So when you go back home, you can actually, in your organizations, run the same approach and brainstorm products. As simple as that, okay? So it's a fast forward. Don't worry about details. What we're going to be trying out right now is to produce something for a Gen Z as a product, based on everything you learned in the last 1.5 days. So the first thing I want you to do, and you're allowed to Google stuff, okay? Use Google as a friend. Everything you don't know, or if you want to cheat, this is the time to use your, digital environment. If we want to produce something for someone, in this case Gen Z, this is what they are going to ask you. I'm going to be going back and forth for every page you want, or take pictures of the pages if you think you want to use it during the work. So they're going to be asking you these 4 questions. Are you credible, or are you cheating on them to get their money? What is your vision and mission? Are you doing some charitable work? Do you have a purpose? This is the generation. They're going to be asking these questions. Are you ethical, etc., etc. First thing. What I want you as a frame to take care of is, remember you were a child, or you have, who's got children here? Children? One inside there? Be careful, lucky one. Have you seen children in a playground sitting and eating sand? Have you ever seen that? Going barefoot, jump on the water, splash, get dirty. They don't give a shit. And then they draw just 2 lines and say these 2 lines is Superman or a beautiful car. They have this power of imagination until we cut it. The society says, become serious, get your suit and tie. So the most core, say, source of creativity is the child in you. If you're not able to reconnect back to your child, it's difficult to be creative. Otherwise, if some creative agencies and marketers tell you creativity needs some genius, Karl Lagerfeld, ha ha ha, bullshit. Creativity is in any of us. You just need to unleash it. And this unleashing means you need to dare. Failure doesn't matter. You know, you can fail. What happens? No one is going to shoot you. Even if they chuck you out of your company is not the planet Earth. Your company is just one company on the planet. If you're an expert, you're always wanted. You will not die. Today is very difficult to die. Today is really very difficult to die. 200 years ago, maybe. Now, we always stay alive. And we get a job, you know. If you go down, you're going to come up. So this is important for the creativity. The other important thing, it's interesting you're not from the same companies, but sharing is essential. Creativity and ideas are like water. It needs to run to remain fresh. If you keep it in one corner, it starts stinking. Don't worry about my idea. It's not about who's has the idea. It's about how to make it happen. And everyone can make it happen in a different way. Okay, so remember that. The only tool I want you to use today is this one. It's old and it works since Stone Age. It's really interesting. Eduardo de Bono is the creator of the 6 hats. He says, each of you have a tendency how to think. She's an optimist, that's why she's got a baby in there, and that guy is always the pessimist guy, nothing works, and this is the realist with the numbers in head. So you have actually, as a personality, a tendency. But if you want to brainstorm and expand your horizon, you take these as different hats. So when you brainstorm today, keep that in mind and ask yourselves, what hat am I wearing right now? Am I talking with facts and numbers? Am I the passionate, everything is possible, etc., etc.? Take a picture of that, or I bring it back when you start working. This is what we're going to do. We have 20 minutes after I finish. In these 20 minutes, we do the following. We do 5 minutes of brainstorming as many crazy ideas as possible. We just jot down the stuff. You have papers on the tables. You're going to be writing down. 5 minutes is like every 20 seconds, one idea. You could actually, each of you could write down something around 30, 40, 50 things. Just like go crazy. Just write down anything possible about the question I gave you. Then we start discussing. Be harsh on ourselves. No debates philosophically. And cut down as many of them as possible. And those what remain, we start thinking as if we want to do a vernissage, a piece of art, and put it up the wall so people come and love it. And we start creating a one-pager for it. Now imagine, I want you to just get the idea today and do this in your teams for a half a day, for a day, and it works brilliantly. I did that with BNP. Are you from BNP? No. I said... Okay, so I did that with BNP, and these guys in 2 days created actually 160 ideas and boiled it down to 15 ideas for their organization for innovation of their products. So really possible. The 2 elements I want to, I have 1.5 minutes to say that. The 2 elements I want to remind you on. The answer today is not important. Usually isn't. The question is really important. And the question always also needs to be challenged. Because if you take the question and just go for it, like a soldier, then it's already a given path. Then you are limited already. So any question, first to be questioned and challenged, and then don't worry about the answer. Think about the path towards the answer. That's a lot more interesting. This is how creativity works. It's not about finding the solution. About the journey towards the solution. And it's a lot more interesting to have the challenge. Creatives love the challenge. That's what giggles us, not finding the solution. When the solution is done, it's like that artist who done a piece of work and is like sick of it because it's over, you know? So think about that as well. I'm going very fast. So here's the task. We want to create a product for a Gen Z, and it needs to be a fintech app, something it's not there yet, so you can go as crazy as possible. You know what you have, so you know what you don't have, and make it something being smooth, fun, and intuitive. What can it be? Anything. I will come to the tables. It will be then very difficult for you to follow me. You don't need to, actually. I will come to the tables and push a little bit if you're not moving forward. One of these areas, I claimed this morning that these are the 3 areas which is going to force the future of banking. Pick one of them, any of them, and start in that area, think of a fintech product for Gen Z. Focus on that target group so that you don't need to go through what target group do we work on. And it's all about the journey right now, just to get a practice. We have 19 minutes. It's actually a lot. We do 5 minutes of brainstorming, lots of ideas. We're then going to have 10 minutes of debates to narrow them down, and 5 minutes to put together a one-pager to just get up and in 1 minute, each of you just say, this is what we came up with. Task is clear. So I leave this here. You guys can shout back at me to say, go back there, come here, and so on and so forth. I might come and take some people away from some chairs and add them somewhere else because I know they're good at what they're doing. And it's going to be accelerating that. So work starts now. Introduce yourself to one another. I'm coming to you. I'll leave you for a second. You guys understood what I'm asking for? Really, yeah? Okay, then start saying hello to one another and start. It is 5 minutes of ideation right now. Are you guys happy? I want you actually to join this group. Yeah, I know, but actually, you're a product designer, so this is your chance. He's going to lead this group, and you're going to have a beautiful product in 19 minutes. You guys understood the task? Yes? Okay, then I come here to explain. He's actually, well, you're experts. But I come to you. Let me see if they are working, and I come to you. This table, I don't need to do anything anymore. You are going to run it. Yes, of course. Are you guys okay? Well, you can go anywhere you want. Yes, of course. Go and feed somewhere. She is a Gen Z. Yes. Say, what do you want? No, give them the added value, the advantage. You're the marketer. Push through. Don't be solo. Open up. You guys know each other, right? No one? You did already introduce yourself? Perfect. Did you understand the task? Okay, so who's timing? Time them. Force them. Now, get yourself 4 minutes, take a piece of paper, and start asking Gen Z, 25 years old, ask her a couple of questions, and write down quickly what is what you don't have on the market right now. Something you don't have. And go as crazy as possible, because nothing can go wrong right now. Just jot down ideas. Okay. Right now, the first 4 minutes, don't talk to one another. Each of you start thinking for 4 minutes, 3 minutes, and every 20 seconds just jot down a product, something you dreamt of, you want to have, and you don't have. Just like an app to pay my debts, an app to blah, blah, blah. You can take care of, oh, that's already exists, that's impossible later. For now, just drop ideas. 4 minutes. Okay, good. I let you go anti-system. So, yes, please go ahead. Yes, whatever you like. Three more minutes.
What makes problem about money?
Everything which is blockchain related.
Yeah, but blockchain itself.
Yes, all of them are blockchain. every money which comes out of everything. Don't steal too much of their time. Just jot down ideas. Go a little bit in the impossible. Push yourself through collecting ideas in these few first minutes as much as you can. Yeah. As many as you can. Just jot down much faster and no matter how quality. This is the only group where it looks like you're doing it right. So that's the good part. 2 more minutes. Okay, you have only 1.5 minutes, and when I go to the next stage, you have to have few ideas where you start narrowing them down. Conversing with her is the next round when you want to kill stuff and go to take your 2 minutes, just write down as much as possible. Forget about her for a second, don't go away. Yeah, but I didn't say she's not. So just think of anything you can, like, let's say, why not having an app where it makes me buy something and pay at the same time a share to a nonprofit? What about an app where I can buy presents for my friends and it directly takes it off from my account, but because it's a present, it gives me 5% discount? What if it makes me pay into a fragmental investment fund, etc., etc., etc.? What if you tell me, if I spend money for the next 10 years, because I'm helping the society have a circulated cash, I get a little saving for my future house? I don't know. Think of so many crazy things. You still can then, in a minute, start saying rubbish, 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 you know? Just give yourselves any ideas. Okay, 1 minute left. Okay, stop wherever you are. Look at me for a second, please. because let's take some learnings out of this. And I know I'm like kind of squeezing something into an impossible time frame right now. Doesn't matter. You're all experienced and adults. You take something home. Imagine that would have been a real workshop among your organizations. Something I want to give you back as a super quick observation. So this group was mainly triggered and led by this gentleman. So I'm just like doing my estimations. He physically turned to the three of them and started to talk into them, okay? That group said, we are not going to do it the way it's told. We are doing it our way. This group practically did exactly what I asked for. And this group, because they received an added advantage of having a Gen Z sitting at their table, started to, instead of following and creating ideas, falling into the trap of let's gather some more information, and went that direction. Think about that when you run a creative process within your organization and you have a session like this. You need to establish a frame, but be willing to give an absolute, in German we call it Narrenfreiheit, the freedom of the fools. This is absolutely needed for the creativity. So I would say nothing here is wrong. I just want you to be aware of it, because individuals could be proactive, reactive, introvert, extrovert. So if there is someone among you, like this gentleman in blue, didn't speak a word. Maybe he's super knowledgeable. I'm a lawyer, though. You see? Exactly. So imagine all of that type of things affect the output and the dynamic. You need to take care of them. Or maybe just saying here, Mario is your name, Marcio. Just because I said, Marcio, go there and do the job, maybe I already overruled the ladies. Fool of me, you know? So think about all of that when you create a group to go for a task. Okay, let's go to the next level. Everything, if you have anything on your table, now I want you to start. Be radical to yourself, share them among the group quickly, and kill as many of them as you can, and stick to maximum 3, if not 1. Go. I don't know. You need to be quick. This is a quick process. No one is defending the idea. As soon as someone says not good is not good. Gone. So because you guys went from do you already have a product, or are you observing the others? Okay, if you have one, use the 7 minutes and articulate it. Put it together as a pitch. If one of you stands up and it has like 1 or 2 minutes to say what it is, what is this? So get yourself ready for that. Sorry, I'm going back and forth. Minutes. 4 minutes. 1 minute. Okay, get ready to present. 30 seconds. Yeah, well, in 1 minute to say what did you come up with. Yes, yes. Well, it was time for choosing the whole last 6 minutes. That's the point of, and especially in creativity, the problem is people start loving their own ideas very quickly. Or any other ideas. Exactly. But that also applies to a startup. Precisely. Yes. No, absolutely. And I know, I mean, for this, we would never, totally, we would never do this in 30 minutes. So that's obvious. Okay. Stop it wherever you are. Stop it. I'm sorry that I'm like, but I mean, let's agree. Gentlemen, be with a group or pay the penalty. Listen, again, first of all, thank you that you let me do this with you. I actually would have never done that to myself because, never run a workshop in 30 minutes. But I did, but not such a thing. So, I still hope that you don't forget what the process is, what I was trying to give you as a support so that when you go back, lady in orange, beautiful lady in orange, your time is up. Don't talk to anyone, let me talk. These are rules of workshops, right? Like kind of don't use your phones, anyways, each of you tell me in 1 minute, like 30 seconds, what you have. You start.
What do we have? What?
Yes, what is what you selected? What is the product you came up with for the Gen Z?
The product that I came with was the NFTs.
Okay, talk about it. 1 minute.
Yeah, it was about, engaging the client.
No micro meetings. He's presenting.
I can talk alone, I'm used to. I'm married, so let's go ahead. The idea that I came with was to incentivize, the client to buy NFTs in order to sustain social causes or ecological ones. And that's about not monetization, but also some interactivity which is provided by finding those NFTs.
So you will produce an app.
Yeah.
An app is allowing the user buy NFT, and a part of that purchase
In order to
goes
support, and in the same time, to allow the user, to join some groups which are dealing with the same objective.
No, sorry, there was one idea per group. Okay, tell me.
So we had a lot of ideas, but we agreed to pick this, to have one universal app that will centralize all the other apps. So when you enter, you should use the same credentials at once that facilitate you going through the other apps then.
And what are the other apps? Like, give me some examples.
Anything you name it on the phone.
Something to do with finance or not?
Yeah. Mobile, banking, stuff like that.
Okay, how do you monetize?
How do you? Yeah, we did not think that much. Sorry.
I think it works. Like, so the interesting part about this is, and that's one of the mistakes I made myself in one of my startups. Like, a lot of people, when they want to produce something, they rather go for something even stupid or very small, because the small things are easier to be sold and are also small enough to be directed to one single problem, and then it's easy to deal with it. But we have a complex life, so we go for sophistication, and we want to take care of everything, and those everything becomes a giant something, and it's then difficult to sell it or you know, like kind of to bring it out to the market. But it has the advantage of sophistication. So every now and again, something like that could be the absolute alpha. So I buy into that idea. Lady, what do you have for us?
Well, we know that Gen Z don't read anymore, correct? Because they always look at videos of dead memes and so on. So we were, the whole team of us, were thinking of an app, making the Gen Z to read again. The app concretely stimulates teasers around the books that they are actually into the school curricula. How do we monetize? Through subscription-based. How do we make the content creators to come into that app is actually by giving them a profit sharing from the subscription fees, but also from the publishing house. Because if some of their books are actually reprinted onto it due to the fact that they are in a very large number viewed teasers, then of course they should give him a percentage out of that sales. How do we stimulate the content creators to maintain? It's perfect.
It was actually great. I actually only cut it out because of the time reasons, but what I liked here is, as I mentioned to you, the solution, I only stopped you because you were discussing the solution, and I think the solution is not important right now. But what I liked is that she started with pinpointing a very clear problem. So she said, you know, Gen Z is not reading, so let's do something about it, and let's try to make money out of it. That is simple enough to move forward, you know, that is really simple enough. If that has a scale, then any bank could have their library of education, so to speak. And it makes sense because the education system is broken. So it feeds into that. There is some potential. If you would have come with the same thinking of putting that whole concept into a urgent problem, it would have been awesome. Like, it would have been a lot easier to buy into, for example. Creativity is about simplicity. So the gentleman mentioned that. I don't have to give you a feedback. Like you said, simple, and then you started to take me through this financial blah, 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 which I have no fucking idea about. And I thought, like, motherfucker, that's not simple. But everything before that was really brilliant. But so he's right. He's really right. It's about simplicity. I loved that he started with a presentation and everything was like directly going to the message, and it was simple, and I could immediately connect to. So simplicity in creativity means a lot. That's important. So, who is going to present your idea?
Okay, then I will decide. Okay, so our Gen Z representative requested for a learning app, financial information. So Gen Z said they don't really understand whatever you talk about, guys, in banking, finance, and all these terms, right? Okay. So we're thinking of an app that would help younger people to understand finance and exactly to understand personal finance and how are they dealing with their finance. Messages like, I'll use your words, like you spent here like this too much, or you should do this, or this is your financial situation, something like that. That's all we could come up with.
This is simple enough.
But it should be like within your bank app, and that's how it becomes personalized, because it analyzes your particular use of money and gives you not just overall education, but tips for you specifically.
Yes, but imagine if you are the bank who's got it, she would change from her current bank to yours because her bank is not offering this. You see? Isn't that great? The idea is actually really good. the point to say it's more than just like, because yesterday someone said like education in finance, and I thought like, how do we want to educate them? But then we had the dinner with few of you guys on the table. I saw like 2 or 3 of you here, and you mentioned like, yeah, no, we need education. And in my eyes was like, okay, but how? And this is a great idea. So I immediately buy into that. It doesn't need monetization because it's actually attracting directly the users and clients into your organization. And it meets this, where did I go with that? It goes with that, precisely. And this is what the generation right now need. This is going to be a simple, smooth, funny, playful, easy to use, intuitive app, which actually gives the person exactly what they need to manage their lives as early as they can, right after university, first job, first salary, and they know exactly how to plan everything. Makes sense. Anyways, I'm beyond my time. Your lunch is waiting for you. Thank you so much. If I had the time, I would do that a lot better and more decent. So my apologies for this sloppy work. Have a great lunch. I'm sure you get the presentations, and then there's details. Without me costing anything for you, because I don't do that for money, if someone really want to do something like that in their organizations, drop me a line, and I send you material and say, do it this way. This is free of charge. So make use of it if you like. Have a good day.